Muslims for Trump. Yeah, there is such a thing. They said they voted for him because he promised peace in the Middle East and that he cared about Muslim lives. I wonder how they feel about it. Now, watch this.
We as Muslims stand with President Trump because he promises peace. He promises peace, not war.
Well, I mean, it is a different year and another day. He could change his mind, right?
We as Muslims stand with President Trump because he promises peace. He promises peace, not war. We are supporting Donald Trump because he promised to end war in the Middle East and Ukraine. The bloodshed has to stop all over the world, and I think this man can make that happen.
I came home the day I met Trump, and I gave my son a MAGA hat, and I said, I guess we're there. And he said, ew. His first words to me were, ew. I said, but Baba, he said he's gonna stop the war. And he said, okay, that's it. Give me that hat. We're voting for Trump. And that's the sentiment, not just of an 8-year-old, but of an entire community. If you're gonna stop the war, even if I don't like you, I'm on your team.
One of the strangest tragedies in this election result is the Arab population in Michigan. There was a group of Arabs who decided that Trump was the person they wanted to win. It wasn't just that they weren't going to vote for Kamala Harris, but they actively voted for Trump. And it was all based on Trump's telling them that he was going to call for a ceasefire as soon as he was elected. Now, I find this very sad and also perplexing because Trump is very, very close with extremely right-wing Israelis who publicly said that they wanted to annex the West Bank and Gaza, and they didn't want a ceasefire at all, and they just wanted to maximize the force being used against Palestinians. I can understand being angry at the Democrats and Kamala Harris as well as Biden on this topic, but the idea that Trump was going to be better really is perplexing. There's an Arab group that is sending a letter to Trump saying, please support the ceasefire you promised you were going to support. We voted for you because we thought you were the best choice for the country. Instead, he has nominated Marco Rubio and Mike Huckabee, and Rubio has said he is in no way supportive of a ceasefire. He thinks Israel should ramp up their campaign. And Mike Huckabee is very much on record as having said he was supportive of Israel annexing the West Bank and Gaza, or at least supportive of the people who would say that that's what they want to do. The situation for the Palestinians is going to get much, much, much worse. And this is the outcome I was concerned about. And, you know, I can understand to some extent the idea that people didn't want to vote for someone who supported a policy that they disagreed with very strongly. But the risk of it getting so much worse was something that I just didn't feel was worth it. It was worth sending that message to the Democrats, because Palestinians really don't have much time and they don't have much space to go for 4 years or longer in the situation.
I always say one thing. You can't be arrogant and you can't be a beggar at the same time. No, you can't. One of these or either of them requires of you to fake or to falsify a virtue for you to fit in. Yes, you can't be an arrogant person and you expect people to help you. You can't be begging and you're arrogant. They don't match. They really don't. You see, a lot of communities, if we leave aside the slavery, a lot of communities in America have really despised black people in America. And it is these very black people who built the United States of America. Without the black people, the United States of America could not have been where it is right now. It is through the establishment and it is through the sweat and blood of the Americans, of the black people, that we have United States of America today, right? So we've had Chinese come, the Indians come, the Latinas, the Hispanics, the Mexicans. Everyone is coming to US right now after the black people have sweated enough. I'm not saying everything was made by the black people, but for the greater part, it is the blacks. Even we Africans, we can go and work in the US thanks to the black Americans, thanks to their struggles, thanks to their sweat, thanks to their personalities and to their scholars. People like Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King Jr., Booker T. Washington, so many of them, right? Without them, it wouldn't have been possible. So right now we have the Arabs, some Arabs, not all. They've gone to the US and they despise black people. They've always despised us. And if you didn't know, the Arabs enslaved black people. There was a particular trade that so many people don't know about it. It is called the Trans-Saharan trade. It took place within the north of Africa, northern Africa, within the Sahara, hence the name Trans-Sahara. The main commodity was slaves, and the traders were Islams or Arabs. Let me say Arabs, yes. Someone can be Islam even if they are black. Now Arab is the right word here. They enslaved black people. In the East African coast, they enslaved black people. So they despising black people is not something new, but that person with whom you disrespect, that person with whom you despise, don't ask them for help. You shouldn't. You shouldn't even use their things. You shouldn't say, hey, come here, let's demonstrate. Give me your pew pew. I go and protect myself. No, don't ask them for nothing because you despise them. Yes, you despise them, so you shouldn't do any of that. And that is how it goes. Arab Muslims are begging black people for support now in these times of Donald Trump. Donald Trump cuts across races except for his own. He cuts across races with his absurd policies. Now let's listen to some of the complaints the Arabs are making about Trump. I shall get back by the end of the video where we shall also have a deep critical analysis. Let's dive in.
So, I was sitting here, minding my business. I just finished cutting my backyard. Start doom scrolling on the talk, on the TikTok. And I hear about ICE raids in Dearborn, Michigan. Now, all this past week, today's Tuesday, from Friday until today, I've heard well-fed white folks describing every bad thing that Iran has ever done. And I've heard them denigrating and disrespecting the Muslim faith. And a thought occurred to me. Actually, it really wasn't a thought. It was more along the lines of, where are they? Where is that woman who's from South Carolina, who was visiting Dearborn, Michigan, who got in front of a camera and said, if you can't vote for Jill, vote for Trump. But do not think you can vote for Kamala. That's what she called it, is Kamala, but she called her Kamala, and expect to be welcomed in my community. Then she started backtracking and moonwalking like her ass is Michael Jackson on Motown 25 said she shouldn't have spoken for the entire community. Where's that Abbas character? The one that invited Donald Trump to Dearborn, Michigan, who voted for him, only to feel a lot of regret when Donald Trump said he was going to take over Gaza and redevelop it. But the one that I really want to hear from is the leaders and coordinators of Abandoned Harris. Where the fuck are you? Where the fuck are you? Do I need to break out the Sword of Omens to find you? Is that what I gotta do? Give me sight beyond sight? The most arrogant, and in hindsight, dumbest fucking things I have ever heard about an election in my entire adult life came from that group, the Abandoned Harris. They used to be Abandoned Biden, then they became Abandoned Harris. I heard it from them. I heard it when they went back to Dearborn and did a story about them. I heard the same thing. They said, I don't know who it was in the Abandoned Harris organization that said it. It's like, I bet next time they'll regret not taking us seriously. That is the dumbest motherfucking thing I've ever heard from anybody that's ever voted in my adult life. They protest voted. They sat at home. They voted for Jill Stein's election cicada ass, or they voted for Trump. And they had the motherfucking nerve to say that. There is a level of vitriol I have for people that did shit like that that will never fade. Never. Mind you, one of my very dear friends, somebody I consider a sister, is a Muslim woman. And we've had, I won't say debates, but I'll call them arguments because that's what they were, about this same subject. I have seen everybody try to run the numbers about how impactful the Arab American or Muslim vote was in the United States. And I think my friend and everybody else seems to be missing the point. Had you said nothing, we would have said nothing. You see, it wasn't the fact that these people voted the way they did. It was the nastiness on the way to doing it. You see, you can do what you want. You are a grown adult. But if you show your ass on the way to doing it, and it then bites you in the ass, don't think we will not be there to remind you of this. Black women were getting disrespected on the way up to this election. Black people were called colonizers on the way to this election. We were called ghetto. Black women were called nasty. Ghetto. Shit like that. There was microaggressions all up and down on the way to this election. Now, had you said nothing, neither would we. How the fuck we gonna know? People seem to think we're mad about your vote. No. It was your disrespect going towards it. That's the shit that pissed people off. I don't know how this is so difficult to understand. As Americans, some of us are used to having elections not go our way. And we retool, and keep it moving. One of the biggest reasons a lot of people are pissed off at the Democratic Party is because of how they move come every election. But when you show your ass on the way to doing that, that's another thing. That's disrespect. That's why you get the attitudes that you do. A lot of these people don't realize the contributions that black folks have done in order for them to be able to say the shit that they say to black people. The ability to be able to walk into a voting booth and not have to worry about a poll tax or a grandfather clause. That was paid for in blood, in footsteps, in tears, and in nonviolence. Now, do you have to kiss every black person's ass? Of course you don't. Nobody's asking you to. What we are saying is, take the opportunity that was given to you, do whatever it is that you feel you got to do, and keep it moving. Because when you show your ass, we show ours. We're not mad at Latinos for Trump for voting for Trump. We're mad at Latinos for Trump for being disrespectful on the way to voting for Trump. Nobody's going to be mad at you for voting. Who gives a fuck? Okay. You did. You did what your conscience could take. But you showed your ass on the way. And now, the abandoned Harris campaign people are just so fucking delusional, they think they won something. You didn't. That's why ICE is on its way to Dearborn, Michigan now. The lady from South Carolina who backtracked and moonwalked, you ain't heard from her ass since. The Abbas guy that invited Donald Trump to Dearborn, where's the Muslims for Trump people? Where y'all at? Y'all showed your ass. You did. You showed your anti-blackness. You showed your anti-black woman. And make no mistake about it, it wasn't just these two groups. There's a whole lot of groups that sat up there and showed their whole ass, walked in, voted, came out, got fucked, and now they looking at us like, please stand up. No. We never cared who you voted for. I feel like I'm Red Hood. We forgive you for who you voted for. But why? Why on God's earth did you have to be so disrespectful, racist, anti-black, and anti-black woman while doing it? You won nothing, and you made an enemy out of somebody who really had your back. Congratulations. You really did get what you voted for.
If you don't like President Trump, then you should move. I'm sure the illegals will give you a ride on their plane. I'm so sick of hearing everybody talking trash about Trump and they don't even know what's going on. So it's real easy. Just pack your bags and move. If you don't like President Trump, then you should move.
No. No. Fuck no. I'm not going anywhere. See what I'm saying? No. I'm not going anywhere. I can criticize that orange motherfucker all the fuck I want. Because he's not God, he's not a king, and he's not my Lord and Savior. He's my fucking employee. The money that goes out of my pocket in taxes pays for that orange bastard's fucking lifestyle in the White House, the Air Force One and the fuel, the Secret Service agents, for the whole family living in my house, because the White House belongs to the people. The microphones he talks under and talks in front of, I paid for those. The staff that he has waiting on him hand and foot, I paid for those. the Diet Coke button that he put on the Resolute desk so that his ass can drink Diet Coke. I paid for the Coke, I paid for the desk, and I paid for the button. No. Fuck no. I'm not going anywhere. And follow up, there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do to me. I can criticize him however much I fucking want to. A, he's an employee. B, the First Amendment. And C, I'm a citizen. Born here, raised here, married here, had kids here. I don't even have to get into my service to this place. See, y'all want God on earth and you think Trump is it. That is your right to do so. But it's also my right to say, fuck him. Eyebrows, stiff jank, covered in fuck you sauce, right in the middle of his forehead. There is absolutely nothing you can do to me for saying that. Fuck him. He shits in a diaper. Fuck he gonna do to me? You talking about illegals in planes? Why don't you take your plain ass home? Instead of getting on the internet saying this shit. Fuck him. Every day and twice on Sunday. You can worship him like Jesus Christ. I can tell him to go fuck himself. And the beauty of both is that the First Amendment covers both of them. I have a right to criticize my government without my government saying a goddamn thing to me. I can say Donald Trump is currently in a marriage that his wife is doing things to her Secret Service agents. What can he do to me? Arrest me? No. No. Because I can then sue him for defamation. And then he would have to prove that his wife is not having sex with her Secret Service agents. And then they would bust out with the First Amendment, which is my right to say that his wife is currently banging one of her Secret Service agents. You can get mad. Yeah, don't talk about Daddy Trump. Fuck him. Hard fuck him. Hard fuck him. Oh, hard fuck him. And the fact that you think that this is a flex, if you don't like Donald Trump, you can leave. Fuck you. I'm not going anywhere. Did my house. Did my house. That's my goddamn employee. I don't work for him, nor do I worship him. I don't worship any politician. They are all my goddamn employees. And the moment they took the job that I helped them to get, or tried to help them not to get, the moment they took that job, they became my fucking employees. And I can say whatever I want to about them, wherever I want to about them, however hard I want to say it about them, and there's absolutely nothing they or you can do about it. So as far as if you don't like Donald Trump, you can leave. Now,
after clearly listening to the brother, he has spoken words of logic. He has spoken reason. And I like it when he said, when you made your vote, it's okay. We can't judge you for voting someone. It's a choice that you made. It's what your conscience pointed you to do, right? It is your conscience which told you, let me vote this guy. We can't question you for that. Voting is like, which color do you like? You like yellow? We can't judge you for liking yellow. You like orange? We can't judge you for liking orange. But what we can judge you for is what you do and what you present in your way to choosing yellow or on your way to vote. That is what we judge. We judge the intention. We don't judge the action. We judge the intention to the action. Now, the Latinas, the Arabs, they've come up front and they voted for Trump. And what was their intention? That's the big question that the brother is asking. And from what I can gather from this, what was the intention of these specific individuals to decide and vote for Donald Trump? And actually, they were calling Kamala Harris, Kamala Harris. They were calling her Abandon Harris. Huh? They even changed her name from Kamala to Abandon. And they were even doing some dances. Some were even singing, I will vote for Donald Trump. But all of them are now crying. They are now shedding tears and asking black people for help. Remember, by the beginning of the video, I told you that if it were not for the struggles, if it were not for the struggles of the black people, these specific individuals who are even dancing, going to the votes, could not have that specific opportunity. And this specific individual has also told you so. The brother and the other brothers and sisters, we've heard from them. Black people must be respected, right? Black people should be respected and must be respected. The moment you decide you're going to disrespect us, do not expect, just expect the same. Expect the reciprocal of the same. Accept the reciprocal. There's no way you will find a mango tree giving bananas. A banana tree will always give banana. That's how it is. How you reap is what you will sow. What you reap is what you sow. So the brother is right when he says the disrespect that is happening between black people and those other communities is they want black people outside of existence. If it was in their power to displace blacks, they would have done so very, very long time ago. But it is not in their power to have such kind of capabilities, right? The point remains one. Black people warned them, they didn't listen. Now they are crying, asking us for help. What should we do? I think if you make your bed, you must lay on it. Don't expect someone else to come and lay on your bed. Enjoy the bed bugs and whatever you can find there, and the lice and the ticks and everything. Also, if you lie with a goat, what do you expect? You'll catch lice. Yes, I'm ending the video here. This is EFK Original Documentaries. If you like what I do, kindly subscribe. I'll surely appreciate. See you in the next one. Remember, beggars can't be arrogant, and the arrogant can't be beggars.